I want to talk a little bit about why I decided to become a breathwork facilitator and how it came about. It's a story that if you told me 2 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it's how it happened. I think it's fair to say that the journey started on February 14th, 2021. On that day, I decided to do a very small dose of medicine, mushroom, with my partner that I'd met about a month ago at the time. And during the experience, through a moment of realization where I realized that that I had nothing to do in order for this person to fall in love with me, that this person was already in love with me, and that I just had to be, essentially. The energy of that realization moved through me, and it moved through my breath. I started breathing bigger, taking up a lot more space in my breath, and while my breathing is usually disconnected in some way, where I breathe in my belly most of the time and not a lot of breath reaches my chest, I was breathing with my belly and my chest. The breath was fully connected, and I was taking these deep breaths. And as I was taking these breaths, you could say a vision came upon me, and the vision that I had was wings coming out of my back. And I've always been connected to the raven throughout my life, and as the wings came out, I was expecting raven wings to come out with feathers and black feathers, and what I saw was that the feathers were actually detached, and there was sort of a cloud of those black feathers, and what came out were scaled wings, and it was a dragon. I then felt my fire come alive in my belly, and I connected with that energy. It was a really powerful moment of connecting with the dragon, and I spent about a year connecting with that energy afterwards, and sort of nurturing it and figuring out what it wanted to tell me. In March 2022, I went to ISTA level 1 in Costa Rica. As some of you might know, Costa Rica has a lot of volcanoes. And in one of the morning sessions, I did a breathwork session. It was the first time that I did breathwork, and the dragon came back. And it gave me a very clear message. And the message was, you must serve. I didn't know how, I didn't know what it meant, but I knew that the message was strong. It was a very, very powerful experience, and I couldn't believe what had just happened when it did. It moved me in many ways, and I couldn't just sit idle with it. I needed to find an outlet. I needed to find a way to serve. And what I do in my everyday life is I'm an IT consultant. So I knew that I needed to find a different path. And so as I started looking to some of the modalities that were calling to me, I realized that the answer was in the breath. That what connected me first to the dragon energy is the fact that I've been breathing fire since I'm 19 years old. And so right there in the act of the breath, there was a connection. I also have played music in the past, and I've always chosen wind instruments when I have played music. And so there was a connection to the breath there too. And then as I started talking about my experience to my mother, she told me that when I was born, I didn't have breath for 60 seconds. I had to be given oxygen, and then I started breathing. And so the synchronicities around breath seemed many, and I decided to look into a breathwork facilitation course in order to learn this modality and to learn how this experience could help others, and how I could help others with it. And through that journey, a lot has moved for me. And one of the things that has moved is the realization that I was holding on to my breath. That the exhale that is normally an effortless motion in the body, is a letting go of the muscle, was forced, and that most of my breaths, probably since I've been unconsciously breathing, I've been holding tension in the exhale. And as that realization came about and I let go of some of that tension, something came to me. My first breath was given to me. I'm learning to find my own. And now I want to help others find theirs. And that's why I'm here today.